Okay, so once again, a very good morning to everyone, and I would like to once again welcome everybody to Research Week at FS 2021. The first session lineup after our opening ceremony earlier on will be a sharing session entitled How to Collaborate Our Research Effectively Through MoU, MoA, which will be delivered by two very special speakers. Okay. On behalf of the organizing committee, once again, I would like to thank everyone for your virtual presence here today. Well, the first talk will be delivered by Dr. Eza Shuhada Sazali, Assistant Dean, External and Global Engagement, Faculty of Science. Before I pass the virtual mic to her, allow me to briefly introduce our first speaker today. So Dr. Eza, apart from being our Assistant Dean, is also a senior lecturer in the Department of Physics. She obtained her bachelor's in material physics in 2010 and her master's in physics in 2012. She then went on to pursue her PhD in material physics and graduated in 2015. And all of these were obtained from UTM. Talk about loyalty. Before becoming our assistant dean, Dr. Eza was also our faculty's internalization coordinator from 2016 to 2018 and was the executive officer for the MoA between Faculty of Science and Universitas Negeri Semarang, to mention a few. So without further ado, let's warmly welcome Dr. Eza Shuhada to deliver her talk.
Thank you, Dr. Sheila, as our moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and morning to everyone, especially to our participants, okay, and to the organizer. So let me share my slide first. Sheila, can you see my slide, Sheila? Okay.
Yeah, yes, you can see very clearly.
Screen.
Okay.
Okay. So
okay, sure.
In my session, so basically for this session, how to collaborate our research effectively through MoU and MoA, we divide by two sections. So for the first part, I will highlight on why, okay, on the basic information, what is MoU, what is MoA, and why do we need this? What is actually our KPI, our faculties, okay? What is our contributions to faculty and also university, and how we want to initiate our collaboration with institute specifically, okay, but for industry, Dr. C will highlight in the second part, and also what is the procedure, okay. So this is, okay, this is the outline for my talk, okay. I will briefly describe what is the difference between all those agreements, okay, and then our active agreement, faculty science, okay, for both MoU and MoA for 2021. Okay, what is our KPI? I will specifically highlight on the MIRA, okay, for MIRA, Envision UTM 2025, UTM Research and Innovation Blueprint 2025, and what are our contributions to faculties and also university, okay, and how we want to initiate and start, and also the procedure internally, which is in between Faculty of Science, okay, within, and also external, okay, when we involve in the legal office, okay, LPU, JPU, etc. And what is our responsibility as the PIC, okay. So the basic info, okay, I took this information from UTM linkages, which you guys can get from, I think, UTM portal, okay. Later on, we have the website, the system UTM linkages we said. So I would like to differentiate what is MoU, MoA, and etc. Okay. So MoU, okay, MoU, Memorandum Persefahaman, is like an umbrella, okay. Satu payung. So satu fakulti, if you have one MoU, for example, with University of Kent, for example, Faculty of Science, so fakulti lain dah tak perlu ada MoU. So it's like an umbrella. Satu UTM is only one MoU for that particular institutional. Okay, that is MoU. If we are talking on the MoA, MoA agreement, anything on agreement must have the financial implication. Mesti ada something pasal duit lah. Okay, on the RM part, okay. So this is the difference between MoU and MoA. MoA specifically on the project, okay, and different faculty can have different MoA with the same institute. So MoA boleh buat banyak-banyak, okay, specifically on that particular project. LOC, okay, this is very basic. LOC, usually you start with LOC. If you baru nak start and that particular institute, maybe the ranking is not so top lah, top, and then kita tak ada latar belakang kerjasama yang terlalu kuat, baru nak start, so we advise to start with LOC, jangan terus MoU, okay, takut nanti kat atas susah sikit nak defense lah, okay, unless we have a very strong justification why we need to do the MoU. So LOC simple lah, tak ada legal binded, sama macam MOU. And also LOI, this one very basic, but for your information, even LOI pun kita kena naik prosedur dia sampai kelulusan JPU. So this is LOI, intent, kita baru berniat nak buat collaboration. Okay, but I would advise to just straightly go to the LOC. And also we have few others perjanjian, okay, NDA, mungkin yang biasa buat dengan industri, so you have NDA, okay. Okay, MOU is satu pernyataan persefahaman, okay, antara collaborators, okay, but no legally binding, dia tak ada hubungan perundangan, dan pihak-pihak tak akan terikat kepada apa-apa tanggungjawab atau obligasi, okay. So MOU is very simple, but again, to get MOU, okay, we must have a very strong justification, maybe in terms of the ranking or the collaboration that you propose and the one that yang kita dah buat collaboration, very strong, so baru boleh proceed MOU, okay. Second MOA, okay, again MOA dia mesti ada financial implication, okay. Satu perjanjian di mana pihak-pihak bersetuju untuk wujudkan satu hubungan perundangan, so this one legally binding, okay. Then pihak-pihak adalah terikat kepada obligasi, risiko dan liability. So very important, especially yang collaborate with industry, okay, you akan buat MOA biasanya. Sebab industry akan pump some money to you nak conduct research lah, okay, research, okay. And then sebarang pelanggaran terma dan syarat dalam MOA akan membolehkan pihak mengambil tindakan undang-undang. So this one kena alert lah, this is MOA. Okay, but this one usually dalam institute dalam industry collaboration. But MOA within institutional, we can have MOA student exchange. Maksudnya implikasi keuangan tu adalah di bahagian yuran pelajar. So okay, MOA student exchange or MOA academic exchange, so we have few models. Okay, so you guys sekarang boleh fikir lah, nak start institute ke, nak start industry ke, okay. Then LOC is satu nota asas yang menyatakan niat untuk bekerjasama. So you start to collaborate. Okay, then this one also is not legally binded. Tidak mengikat pihak-pihak dari segi undang-undang. Okay. Okay, LOI is very basic lah. Kadang-kadang company nak sangat buat LOI on the spot, and then for example like last time your FRGS, you need to submit LOI, right, to get extra bonus mark, okay. But again, LOI you cannot simply sign because we state the UTM name and logo inside there, so we still have to get approval from legal office. So the process also is not as easy lah. Then also it's not legally binded. So this is LOI, so niat. And last one we have lain-lain perjanjian, for example NDA, non-disclosure agreement, okay, perjanjian pertukaran staff and pelajar, perjanjian geran pendidikan. So this one all everything kita boleh advise lah which one yang sesuai dengan you punya concern and intention. Okay, the scope for this particular agreements, okay, we have international and local. Okay, international and local, we divide by two, and also we have institutional, we have industrial, government agency, and etc. Okay, but for my part, I will specifically highlight on the institutional as well. Dr. C akan highlight on the industrial, how you want to engage with the industry. Okay, these are all our active agreement for 2021, this MOU. So we have 5 locals MOU. Okay, ada few yang dalam signing process. InsyaAllah soon for the CSC screen process supply Sdn Berhad ni under Dr. Lee, kita akan sign on next Tuesday. Okay, one of the part research week lah. And this is all MOU international. Okay, we can see here we have from Japan, okay, Maldives, Uzbekistan, kat sini ada Oxford, York, Kent. Okay, York kita baru sign last time with Dr. Chong as a PIC, and we have here Dr. Fidos Wahab here. Okay, Salahuddin, Dr. Izzati. So all Indonesian, also India. Okay, Dr. C and Dr. Hafizah, and also Arjun University signing process under Dr. Rohu. So this is all our active agreement for MOU. Okay, and next for MOA, we have 5 current active MOA, also signing process next Tuesday for CSC screen process. And we have from the under Dr. Izan, okay, Research Center for Nuclear Physics, Osaka University. Okay, this one under Profaro, Islamic University of Gaza. Kanwu National University under Dr. Mariam, okay, signing process as well. Okay, we also have Semarang, it's under me, Machong under Dr. Lee, and also Pertamina is under Dr. Azhar, and Istinga is under Prof. Harul as well. So this is all our active agreement, but this is very important. Why? Okay, I will proceed to the next session. Okay, what is our KPI actually? Kenapa kena buat MoU, MoA is actually for our university. Okay, our faculty and also university. First, I would like to highlight on the MyRA part. Okay, MyRA, you guys know, right? MyRA 1 and MyRA 2, what is it? Okay, kita nak maintain the status of RU university, okay, research university, and also the dana. Okay, so we need to maintain the marks untuk MyRA. So specifically, talking about MoU, MoA is under section G, networking and linkages. Okay, so ni I tunjuk sini lah untuk you guys tahu, mungkin tak familiar lagi. So in section G, we have section G1. Okay, this is the participation in international inter-institution research related activities under MoA. This is international. So we have to make sure we have active international MoU or MoA every year, okay, by research base. So every year, okay, every time bila Myra dah nak start buat audit, okay, that's why nampak lah tim-tim task force Myra akan start cari data and etc. So for this one, I akan personally cari all the active agreement, MoU, MoA, international, and we will ask the proof of activities by in terms of research. Paling senang adalah bukti co-authorship. Okay, kita join publication and we have the affiliation. For example, my particular MoA University Semarang. So kita ada contoh join publication kan. So ada affiliation. So I will attach as the proof. So Team Myra akan semak and approve. Okay, so every year we have to maintain like 5 to 6 on this section G1 international. But LOA also can be considered, LOA and Research Agreement International. Okay, and also MoU. Okay. And then next, G1B is the number of academicians involved in the research project. So I have to list out, okay, all the names in the co-authorship, for example, untuk buktikanlah numbers of staff yang involved. And also sometimes bila you submit the paperwork for MoU, MoA, you boleh letak ahli-ahli yang terlibat, yang you rasa they will involve in your particular collaboration. Okay, you boleh involve them. Mungkin sama RG, sama panels, okay. So all of that I akan attach as the bukti. Okay, so that is for international. For national is only MoA and LOA. So this is part where Dr. C lah yang akan kejar, akan cari and make sure we have to maintain like 5 every year, MoA local, okay, to get this lah. Okay, so this one mesti sign and stamp by PIC, okay. And also the number of academicians involved in the project, under the project. So Dr. C akan carilah bukti siapa yang terlibat dalam, maybe the PIC is only one, but staff-staff yang terlibat, you kena provide bukti. Mungkin they join the webinar on the research, yang penting research. Okay, so this is for Myra, and last one for Myra section G2 is number of staff sent abroad for research activities. This one is not easy lah, like I said, since we have pandemic, so not everyone can go to overseas kan untuk buat research activities, but this one we only get for postdoctorate, okay, sabbatical leave, okay. But this one also membantu bila you ada MoU and MoA. Okay, biasanya bila you ada MoU, MoA ni, okay, it's very easy you nak travel, okay, sometimes they will sponsor you, okay, because you ada agreement kan. So there is example. Kalau you guys have any question, you can simply ni lah. Okay, second KPI is for the Ambition UTM 2025. Okay, we already finished PGU, right? Plan Global University. So now we are focusing on Ambition 2025. So later on, I think you guys will get familiar lah on this. This one totally different with PGU. Last time we have KFA until KFA 6, but now we have until KAI 15. So basically for MoU, MoA ni is part under KAI 15. So we have 5 key initiatives here to boost global eminence, okay, branding initiatives to boost UTM visibility, strategic engagement with international partners, strengthen weak indicators for QS ranking, and also to manage performance UTM subject and societal impact ranking. So this is the one that I will highlight, okay, on the partnership. Okay, for your information, okay, just for your information, when we talk about the ranking, okay, ranking, QS ranking ni, this is pecahan markahnya 40%, okay, 40% is from our partners voting us, okay. 40% is for academic reputation. We send the list name and then they vote us. So 40% from there, 10% is from the employer reputation, okay. 20% citations per faculty, 5% international faculty, 5% international student, and 20% faculty over student ratio. So the one that we can manage, that we can arrange lah, okay, our initiative to increase the ranking is how we want to decide the list name, okay, for our voters kat sini, academic reputation and also employer reputation. Sorry, here. Okay, and also citation per faculty, maybe we can increase the review paper, right? As we know, review paper lagi senang, ramai akan lebih view lah, okay, and share this one, okay, so we can make visible lah our research. So this is the one lah, our initiative, okay. Okay, specifically in KAI 15, okay, our strategic trust 5 is attain global eminent examination top research university in 2025. Okay, and our strategic priorities is to achieve global eminence as distinguished Malaysia Research University in line with national and global agenda. Okay, so KAI 15 tu adalah global ranking lah. So what is the key indicators? Boleh nampak kat sini, the number of new MoU, MoA sign. Okay, so sini UTMI cascade to faculty, 3 MoU or MoA per faculty every year yang baru yang baru. So we have to make sure every year kita ada barulah signing. So the process of signing can be post, last time kita biasa post atau kita buat ceremony, but now we used to make virtual signing. Okay. So inilah antara benda yang kenapa kena buat MoU, MoA, what is your contribution is actually here. Okay. And next, bila you ada MoU, MoA tu, senang kita nak encourage others activities. For example, you nak buat lecture series ke, invited lecturer semua is based on MoU, MoA, sangat-sangat senang. Okay, we can promote easily, okay, to be visible. Okay. And then next, for strengthen the key initiative for strengthen weak indicators just now, okay, for the score lah, key indicators is score of employer reputation. Okay, this one we need to organize program, okay, untuk strengthen the engagement with industries, okay. So from the CCIN, okay, every year usually kita diberi cascade 7 lah, 7 or 8 in the MIRA lah. Yeah, actually how they cascade is based on the numbers of staff, numbers of academic staff. Okay, they calculate, and so this is our part. Okay, faculty science, you need to have 7 local MoA every year, for example lah, macam tu. And then number of MoU, MoA sign for student development, for example. Tapi ni UTM lah, and then they cascade to all faculties. Okay. Okay, last, okay, for the KPI next is blueprint. Okay, UTM Research and Innovation Blueprint 2025. Okay, in the blueprint, later on, I think at the end of the research week, Prof. Rosli akan present on the blueprint, but I just touch a bit on bahagian yang melibatkan MoU, MoA. So this is the blueprint to face global and national challenges, to be a leader, to be sustainable, to be impactful, to be efficient, and to uphold scholarly excellence. Tapi mana part yang MoU, MoA itu? We have 5 strategies objective of blueprint. Okay, so first, strengthening and enhancing research excellence, fostering and encouraging high return partnership engagement, advancing from lab to market, enhancing and strengthening supportive research environment, and stewarding and establish interdiscipline networking platform. So kat mana part is the first one, okay, strategy objective, strengthening and enhancing research excellence. How is actually on the third objective lah, strengthening internal and external collaborators. So what is our initiative? Previously TDPP already listed, okay, our initiative. So to get this, okay, we have to establish new or activate our current MoU, MoA with internal and external collaborator. So we need to increase the joint publication between the partners, okay, increase joint grant application, to organize intellectual discourse through seminar, meeting with internal and external collaborator, and to engage in the research attachment. All of this B until E tu is very easy to do kalau you ada MoU, MoA. Okay, there is where bila you highlight lah dalam paperwork tu nanti what is actually you punya proposed activity. Okay, how you want to initiate. Okay, ni I start lah. Okay, how you want to initiate. You mesti tanya macam mana nak start. So first biasanya application tu comes from staff. Staff as the PIC, they contact me or Titik Pipa, okay, or decline, okay. They contact us and said, okay, I nak buat this one, macam mana? Tu biasanya. Okay. So macam mana start bila ada idea nak buat collaboration tu, senang kebanyakannya adalah from research collaboration, tempat you guys belajar PhD dulu. Biasanya kan kat overseas kan, so you have a very strong apa orang panggil collaboration lah, okay. Hubungan yang kuat dengan ex supervisor kat sana, so you guys intend nak buat MoU. So first bila you come to me, and then first I akan semak dulu, ada tak MoU in that particular institution yang dah buat kat fakulti lain, sebab MoU tak boleh sama dengan fakulti lain. So dia macam umbrella, satu MoU for satu UTM. So I akan advise lah mana yang sesuai. Okay. So second, staff ni kadang-kadang bila nak buat sebab mungkin dia tak belajar kat universiti tu last time, tapi dia buat postdoc kat sana, for example. So dia rasa nak buat MoU. Okay. Ataupun second, dia buat latihan exercise, okay, dekat industri. So and then they contact me and then Eza, last time buat kat sini, so macam mana kita nak teruskan collaboration. So biasanya memang LOC, MoU atau MoA. And then third, kadang-kadang staff ni nak buat sebab dia ada research interest, jumpa dekat conference ataupun serve website kan, terjumpa sama field, and then tengok Google Scholar, tengok Scopus publication sama, so berminat nak collaborate. So macam mana nak collaborate, so ni semua adalah cara-cara yang macam mana staff rasa tiba-tiba nak buat lah MoU, MoA tu. And then sometimes ada student mobility, maksudnya ada inbound kan, pelajar inbound datang, okay, kita lantik dia sebagai supervisor sementara untuk seminggu, dan dekat situ staff dah start berminat, okay, untuk collaborate further sebab sama research interest. So ini pun antara platform yang macam mana staff boleh nak start buat. Okay, so you guys pun boleh start tengok lah how you can start on this. Okay, so this is application through staff. Biasanya bila staff yang datang, so kita terus assign the staff as the PIC. So tugas PIC, you need to prepare paperwork, ringkasan eksekutif, and also dokumen perjanjian tu yang untuk design lah. Okay, ni first. Second cara adalah university industry collaborations. Okay, for your information, we have 9 models, okay, untuk kita collaborate dengan industry. One of these model you collaborate, you boleh try untuk dapatkan MoU ke MoA, LOA yang bersama. For example, number 1 is the recruitment of graduate and access to researcher. Okay, untuk kita pelajar-pelajar LI kan, okay, you as the supervisor, okay, pelajar LI you dekat that particular industry. So and then you interested untuk buat MoU, MoA for example. So inilah platformnya. Number 2 is to collaborate with professional and certified expert and consultants. Number 3, join a global network of expert and professionals. Okay, number 4, we have accredited labs. Okay, we can offer to industry. So industry datang untuk run sample, for example, then kita try untuk arrange, and then they can pay how much amount, and then maybe they assign you as a consultant, kat situ dah boleh dapat consultations. So ada banyaklah collaboration dengan industry. Number 5 is the accredited and certified lifelong learning. Okay, we can offer banyak juga staff kita, okay, yang untuk number 5 ni jadi supervisor untuk staff industry. So nanti kita akan buat specific MoA, MoA or MoU. So number 6, we also have our computational lab, okay, software and facilities. Number 7, matching grant. Obviously matching grant memang you akan ada grant lah. Okay, number 8, DTD. And number 9 is the adjunct professor, etc. This is the collaboration that you can propose to industry. But specifically on the engagement, macam mana you nak engage punya research industry, Dr. C akan cover lepas ni. Okay. So number 3, okay, macam mana application tu dapat untuk buat MoU tu, the application send direct to fakulti. Okay, maksudnya dia bukan melalui PIC tu, dia melalui terus ke fakulti, terus ke dekan. For example, biasanya this one during academic visit. Okay, kita previously during before pandemic kita ada banyak terima visitor kan. So visitor tu biasanya tak ada pun collaboration lagi. So they came to us and then we discuss and then we agree to do something lah on the collaborations. So fakulti akan decide siapa PIC. Biasanya kita akan decide PIC tu based on the expertise the visitor dia propose on what, okay, kita akan cari orang yang berkenaan lah. Okay. Second, sama juga student mobility, they send to us the student, okay, untuk attach for 3 months for example. Then kat situ mereka berminat untuk buat MoU, so fakulti akan assign the PIC. Okay, third, for example, during formal event, yang ni contoh lah, yang last time me and Dr. Baki went to API, so we have like 10 collaborator during that time untuk buat MoU, MoA, but Alhamdulillah, I think 2 already approve dekat LPU in signing process. So itu antara contoh lah. So the PIC we decide macam mana, fakulti yang akan decide. Kita akan tengok sesuai macam mana, and then kita akan juga minta advice pengarah. Kalau that applications menjurus ke jabatan-jabatan tertentu, kita akan minta advice pengarah. Siapa yang kita nak. Okay. And sometimes the applications comes from UTMI. Visitor tu pergi UTMI, and then during the meeting between UTMI, they said they want to collaborate with Faculty Science, for example. So they send the application to us. So samalah prosesnya, kami akan decide siapa PIC. So in this case again, faculty will assign the PIC accordingly to the expertise. Okay, so ada 3 lah tadi cara macam mana sebenarnya how to initiate the MoU, MoE. Okay. Procedure. Okay, procedure I akan divide to satu internal process. Okay, internal procedure. We need fakulti daripada PIC, contact I and apalah, etc. And second, external melibatkan pejabat undang-undang, mesyuarat panel perjanjian, mesyuarat JPU and also LPU. For international, until LPU. Okay, kalau local, only up to JPU approval, and then baru boleh sign. Okay, but for your information, okay, later on, insyaAllah by April, UTM will launch UTM linkages system. Okay, this one I think very easy for all staff. You can simply use the system untuk submit you punya application. Previously manual kan kena hantar kat I akan semak semua, tapi now it's all in system lah. Okay, further details will be updated by faculty sebab I also did not receive dia punya working flow lagi. Okay, but for now, I akan explain yang manually lah dulu sebab kita tak launch lagi lah UTM linkages ni. Okay, ni UTM linkages ni, if you want to see, you can open your portal, okay, UTM portal, dekat bawah sekali ada UTM linkages ni. Boleh tengok kat sini lah, sikit gambaran untuk the system. Okay, internal procedure. Internal procedure, first, faculty will receive the applications from the PIC. Receive application ni sometimes PIC terus hantar template, tapi selalunya staff akan call. Dr. Isa, okay, I rasa nak buat dengan MoU with this one kan. Macam mana? Apa I nak kena buat? Okay, so first, faculty will have to check internally in the UTM list of agreement. Kita akan semak. Okay, kalau dah ada MoU dengan this one, okay, I will advise maybe you can do MoA, LOC for example, okay. Then, second, faculty will provide the template, the latest template. Okay, kenapa kita provide our own template? Sebab dalam tu ada few part bahagian latar belakang fakulti sains. Okay, so that one you dah tak perlulah buat baru. So kita ada latar belakang, but the one that you really need to update is the latar belakang kerjasama. Okay, between the parties. Okay, okay. Second step, okay, is the advising process lah. Kalau kat tengok sini, kalau tengok kat sini carta ahli dia, this one penerimaan permohonan. Okay, this is actually in our SOP, in our SPK last time kan. So 8.2 is semakan butir permohonan perjanjian yang sedia ada. So this is semak lah, kami bantu semak. And third part is penyediaan draft. So I give you the template, so you need to prepare the draft. Okay, how you want to prepare the draft? Okay, kita memang dah bagi template lengkap. You need to change accordingly to your partners lah. Apa latar belakang kerjasama. Tapi yang paling penting latar belakang kerjasama. Then dokumen bahagian perjanjian yang the one that signing yang melibatkan ayat-ayat legal tu lah, macam ayat-ayat yang article 1, article 2, okay, until article 15, okay, the end date, okay. That one mesti mendapatkan persetujuan kedua-dua belah pihak. So you prepare your draft first and then you send to the partners. Tapi yang ringkasan eksekutif dengan kertas kerja tak perlu send sebab itu hanya formality UTM. You hanya send bahagian untuk signing tadi. Okay, you send to them and then they will check with their legal. Once they agree, then baru you pass to me the full. So I akan semak. Okay, so itu proses untuk tanggungjawab PIC. Okay, so kita akan semak. Then kita akan semak background. Okay, background of the collaboration, the selection reasoning, programs, activities that were carried out. Okay, this one paling penting kalau you nak buat MoU. MoU mesti ada very strong justification. Okay, kalau baru nak start, memang kalau boleh kita tak advise untuk buat MoU. Okay, susah sikit lah nak approve. Okay, and reason for collaboration, so you will start in the paperwork. Okay, and then kenapa juga kita kena advise tadilah, sebab kita akan differentiate the submitted documents, MoU ke MoA ke, and then the types of suggested activity. Okay, mesti you guys tertanya macam apa sebenarnya activities yang kita boleh buat dalam MoU. Okay, paling biasanya untuk MoA, biasa kalau melibatkan institute, sebab MoA must be, mesti ada financial application. Okay, so biasanya kalau nak buat MoA juga, kita buat MoA student exchange, sebab student exchange memang ada financial implication kan, sebab mereka datang and then they have to pay the fees, the hostel and etc. Okay, all the templates were there. Okay, and also you boleh buat academic visit. Okay, apa lagi aktiviti boleh buat? You guys boleh buat joint supervision, joint publication, research project or TNA program. Okay, any kinds of program, academically, research. Okay, ataupun macam TNE tu program akademik barulah. Okay, this is under Dr. Bakri. Dr. Bakri akan help lah to advise. So ini contoh-contoh aktiviti yang you guys boleh buat. Okay, next, bila you guys dah submit, okay, kat sini, you guys submit the document. So sebenarnya prosesnya you submit to me. Okay, you submit to me. I will check. Okay, I will check and mungkin comment lah, advice PIC. Then I will email to TDPPA. Okay, TDPPA akan jadi second verifier. Okay, so TDPPA semak dan comment, and then last baru ke dekan. So dekan akan semak and prove and verify. Okay, then barulah Puan Rosida akan bantu untuk submit ke legal office. So tak siap lagi, hantar bantu submit ke PPUU. Okay, sampai PPUU. Okay, yang untuk next step akan beritahu lepas ni, sebab that one external. So this is internal process. So internal process, lepas ni siapa yang berminat nak buat, just contact me directly. I can advise to you, okay, which one yang the best lah, insyaAllah. So hantar and then siapkan dokumen, hantar ke I dokumen lengkap, kertas kerja, ringkasan eksekutif and also dokumen perjanjian. I will check and then TDPPA will check. And then you will have to do some corrections. Usually lah, ada sikit penambahbaikan. And then last dekan, then we send to legal office. Okay, finish on the internal process. But this one nanti different dengan duty and linkages tu. Duty and linkages, I still tak dapat dia punya working flow. So that one, after I dapat, I will share again lah. Okay, so next, external Okay, this one approval. Okay, external process. Okay, kat sini, yang ni adalah, I took this one from UTM International punya procedure. Okay, this one kalau daripada UTMI, okay, kena pasti PTJ pemilik tu, for example, Fakulti Sains tadilah. So dalam PTJ tu yang tadilah internal process tadi. Okay, and then we prepare the documents and then semakanlah semua. Okay, this one important. Okay, daripada tadi yang dah dekan dah approve tadi, okay, Puan Rosida will help to send to the PPUU, Pejabat Penasihat Undang-Undang. Okay, di sini akan ada sikit balik-balik nantilah. Legal officer akan semak, okay, if ada pembetulan ayat artikel, okay, kita akan pulang balik ke PIC. PIC akan contact semula collaborator or partners untuk semaklah setuju tak perubahan yang disuggestkan, for example apa, sampailah partner setuju, baru pulang balik to us, then we will send again to them to get approval chop. Okay, so PPU akan chop, then dekat situ akan tengok TNCAA punya office ke TNCPI punya office untuk sahkan last kat paperwork tu. After dekan, last akan sahkan sama ada TNCAA atau TNCPI. If that particular agreement lebih menjurus kepada akademik, memang dekat pejabat TNCAA, or else research dekat pejabat TNCPI. Okay, sampai approval kat sini, okay, barulah masuk ke panel perjanjian MoU, MoA. Okay, from this part, this is very important. Ini adalah first process yang kita kena defense sebelum masuk ke JPU. Okay, this one kita akan dapat email daripada urus setia. Okay, Fakulti Sains perlu menghadiri mesyuarat panel perjanjian pada apa. Okay, ni terus kita akan contact PIC to join us. Okay, PIC pun kena join sekali. As for your experience and also you are the owner, of course you akan tahu lebih banyak lah. Tapi biasanya TDPPA akan bantu untuk presentkan lah. TDPPA atau saya, kita tengok keadaan macam mana. Jadi PIC juga perlu menyediakan satu slide untuk highlightkan what is the latar belakang kerjasama dan research benefit dan tak spesifik research dan benefit of that particular agreement. Okay. So dekat sini, di sini adalah second tanggungjawab PIC untuk present lah, untuk defense. Okay, kat sini. Habis je present tu, nanti kat situ akan terus kita, panel akan tanya sini and then panel akan bagi suggestion and biasanya by that time juga kita akan tahu keputusan lulus atau kena baiki. Okay, so biasanya kalau lulus, alhamdulillah kita tak perlu buat apa, dia terus akan pergi ke JPU. Okay, tak perlu juga tukar format sebab template yang I bagi first memang format JPU. Okay, so kalau tak lulus, dia akan balik ke fakulti balik, I akan advise PIC apa yang kita kena baiki. Mungkin kita boleh tukar despite apa, for example, then submit semula, kena masuk balik mesyuarat panel. So, sama proses dia. Okay, so kat sini bila diperakukan mesyuarat jawatankuasa pengurusan universiti, okay, kat sini kalau diperakukan, if local, settle. Kalau local memang sampai JPU, then we can start for the signing ceremony. Okay, tapi kalau international, belum settle lagi. Okay, bila international, kita akan, bila lulus kat JPU, kita akan diberi email oleh UTMI untuk tukar semua format ke format kertas kejut LPU, Lembaga Pengarah Universiti, to get the approval from that particular mesyuarat LPU. So from here, pemohon akan tukar format. Okay, I akan advise lah, bantu advise kalau tak faham, saya memang akan bantulah in the process. Okay, so and then UTMI akan, and then kita akan pulang semula ke UTMI, that particular documents masuk ke mesyuarat lembaga pengarah universiti. Kebiasaannya kalau dah lulus kat JPU tu, insyaAllah LPU tu lulus. So JPU tu is very important lah. Tapi LPU pun, you guys memang yang penting adalah justification. Latar belakang kerjasama very important. You kena highlight. Kalau you ada bukti lagi bagus, macam joint publication, sebab I ada banyak experience yang ada juga memang the ranking is not so good, okay, tapi memang banyak sangat publication which menyumbang ke our Myra as well, for example. So memang dapat MoU, boleh dapat MoU. So depends lah, kita akan cuba bantu PIC macam mana yang PIC nak, macam mana yang partners nak. So kat sini kalau LPU tak lulus, jadi tak lulus lah. Nanti kita akan dimaklumkan, nanti kita pun akan cuba baiki. Dan kalau lulus, kita akan dimaklumkan. Okay, kalau lulus, alhamdulillah kita akan dimaklumkan. Dan kita akan ni lah untuk signing process. Okay, kita dokumen meterai and then you akan matikan stamp. Okay, and then settle signing process. Fakulti akan bantu untuk buat virtual signing ceremony if any, and kita akan postkan itu semua fakulti. Okay, don't worry, fakulti akan tolong insyaAllah from start until end. Okay, jadi tanggungjawab PIC is you need to carry out activities. Okay, adalah biasalah. Ada juga dokumen kita sign tapi bila nak buat aktiviti tu mungkin tak start. Sometimes yang tu mungkin benda tu sebab dilantik melalui fakulti kan, sebab kita bukan dia yang initiate kan. Jadi tak apa, kita akan cuba bantu. Apa-apa yang berkaitan kita akan cuba masukkan juga aktiviti-aktiviti. And then you need to prepare activity report, especially kalau ada yang untuk research base, sangat-sangat membantu untuk Myra. Okay, untuk nanti I akan bagikan sebagai Myra. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Eza, for such an informative talk. Okay, there's a lot for us to learn and process. Okay, so we will now begin our Q&A session for the first talk first. Okay, so you can either unmute yourself or to ask a question, or you can type your question in the chat box. I will try my best to read them out. So does anyone have any question for Dr. Eza?
Ada soalan tak? Siapa yang berminat nak buat?
Mungkin selama ni Dr. Eza dah sangat terang, semua orang dah sangat faham. Sampai tak ada soalan. Ada siapa-siapa ada soalan yang berminat nak buat MoU ke?
Assalamualaikum Dr. Eza, Faizwan.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay,
Hai,
silakan.
Faizwan, yes.
Okey, nak tanya soalan berkenaan dengan MoU dengan universiti luar negara.
Okay.
Katakan macam Dr. Eza cakap tadi, katakan universiti tu ranking dia memang rendah lah kan. Katakan
Okay.
universiti daripada Indonesia kan ranking rendah. Tapi kerjasama publication tu banyak dan dia pun ada lantik contohnya jadi editor dan sebagainya. Ada possible tak lulus MoU ataupun dia UTM downgrade sikit sebab kan ranking dia memang rendah lah kan.
Okay, ikut pengalaman saya lulus.
Lulus eh?
Ada yang lulus,
Ah.
yes. Tapi memang itulah, you kena attachkan kat lampiran bukti-bukti publication macam tu. Kita akan cuba defense lah. Kita akan cuba defense, and then kalau tapi sometimes yelah, it depends on the panel as well. So kita cubalah. Ada pengalaman memang lulus.
Prosedur kalau MoU dengan agensi kerajaan dalam negara, dia prosedur dia tak macam UTM International tadi tu luar negara kan?
MoU sama, locally
Sama.
sama, cuma until JPU. Locally pun sama, internal punya prosedur dekat fakulti saya sama juga. Lepas once dah settle dokumen, PIC hantar to me, we will send to legal office, and then legal office proofkan, and then we send to the mesyuarat panel, and then kita kena defend, sama proses. Tapi untuk local, up until JPU only, mesyuarat JPU, kelulusan mesyuarat JPU.
Okay. So draft tu mesti ada dah dipersetujui oleh dua pihak akan draft tu kan?
Yes, make sure draft, sebab kita tak nak case bila you dah sign, tiba-tiba partner tengok, can I change something on the signing agreement tu kan? Kalau tak nak lah. So kena follow lah flow dia.
Memang kena firm dulu baru boleh proceed kan? Dua pihak firm.
Yes.
Okay, terima kasih.
Yeah, thanks, Susan. I have another question.
Yes, sir.
The question is, as you pointed out correctly, that if you want to keep the MoU active, then every year we need to show some proof of collaboration to keep in the MIRA to progress. Now, after how many years, if someone is not able to do, does university has any chance that they will close that MoU, or suppose 5 years or 6 years is remain idle, then all on a sudden it activate and revive back? What is the strategy towards that direction? Is there any clear strategy?
Okay, thank you, sir, for the question. Okay, first of all, all the signed agreement, we need to activate, as in you need to do the activity, and the duration of the signing is depends on agreement between both parties. Sometimes you put it as 3 years, sometimes we put it as 5 years, it depends. Okay, so for example, 5 years. So within 5 years, you need to send the report, what is the activity you did. Okay, so finish 5 years, and then we can renew. Okay, but regarding on your question, the one that I'm asking help as in terms of research base is because we can help the MIRA. So for example, 5 years, you can provide to me every year one paper, at least one paper joint publication, right? For that particular MoU with Guru Jambeshwar and Dr. Sip as an owner. So every year you can give me one, so that will help MIRA. Because in MIRA, if that, even though we have the MoU with that particular institute, but we did not have any proof on research activity, so it cannot be calculated, it will be rejected. So that is for MIRA. But within 5 years, you can do any activity. Actually, it's not always the research based lah. You can do academics program. It's for your MoU. Am I answering your question, sir? So there is no punishment or whatever.
No. I understand. My question is not what I was asking, that if the MoU is for 3 years, for suppose someone is not able to show anything in that 3 years, as you correctly said, that research paper or research talk is the right way of keeping. It's not like someone visit here in Indonesia for 1 week, I visit there. Those are nothing to do with the academics. These are just, anyway. So the point is that, meaning if it is for 3 years, every year you have to basically show a research progress in terms of research discussion or research collaboration or paper or students, joint supervision, something like that, right?
It's not necessarily research.
It's not necessary research.
Yeah, you can do a webinar talk on academic as well.
No, that's right. Of course, webinar would be connected to research. It's not that money, something to do with academics. That's okay. Good. I got the point.
Academics, yes.
Thank you so much. Because I remember in 2013 when I just came here, and that time we were international staff were making a meeting with some very high-level official. I don't want to take the name, in Malacca. She said that time that, you need not have to sign any more MoU. We have already 550 MoU. 70% of the MoU became inactive. So I was quite discouraged, but now I feel happy because you are giving a very crystal clear idea and reviving back. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have a
Any-
question in the chat box.
Okay.
So by Dr. Shazwani, bagi
Okay.
unit atau institusi yang perlu translate template dan wording dalam MoU, MoA or LOC, akan ada masalah tak dalam proses di pihak UTM?
Okay, Kak Dr. Shazwani. So maksud you nak translate the template is usually in English template. So you need the Malay one, is it?
Maksudnya kalau dalam bahasa Arab.
Oh, bahasa Arab. Okay. Yang tu I
Sebab
tak
kita
pernah
pernah
experience
bagi-
lagi.
Kita pernah bagi template tu
Okay.
dan benda tu pending sebab
Okay.
kan dia kena translate dulu ke bahasa
Okay.
Arab untuk diorang proses.
Okay. So at the end when they translate, okay, so they give you tak yang final version?
Translation process diorang memang sangat panjang sampai sekarang kita tak
Sangat
dapat
lama
lagi.
tak? Okay guys, okay, thank you for the question. Okay, sekarang ni template I bagi actually sometimes institute tu pun dah ada their own template. Okay, kadang-kadang ada juga staff tanya boleh tak nak guna template universiti ni. Sebenarnya selalunya boleh je. So yang penting satu template yang both parties agrees. Biasanya UTM yang memang akan bagi template, tapi ada juga case template tu is from them. So kita akan ambil template tu bagi kita akan minta PPU semak. Itu yang first case lah. Tapi yang untuk case Kak Syazwani, yang for the translation tu, I think memang akan take time lah. Yang tu, I think will be no problem sebab once they translate and then they understand all the particular dalam artikel-artikel tu kan ada 16 articles for example. So what they agree yang tu kita akan hantar ke PPU. PPU yang akan chop. Kalau PPU kata tak sesuai, dia akan tolak. Dan kita akan balik ke partner dan partner akan baca balik then macam tu proses dia.
Okay,
So
maknanya
tak ada masalah.
kalau kita minta diorang sedia guna template diorang, kita akan semak lah. Macam tu.
Yes, kita akan semak. Tapi kalau dia orang bagi template dalam bahasa Arab tu, nanti I kena tanya PPU. Just in case lah they want to use in the Arabic version, right? Tapi no problem kalau they have their own template. I think in English or Malay, kita akan cuba bagi PPU semak.
Okay,
Yang penting
thank you.
dua-dua tak melanggar undang-undang punya ayat lah. Thank you for the
Thank you,
question.
Iza.
Dr. Iza, Rahman here.
Yes.
Dulu saya nak buat MoA dengan satu industri company lah.
Okay, tahu.
Isunya adalah pasal percentage of ownership, IP, everything tu.
Okay.
So the problem is UTM stand ni adalah nak kalau boleh 50-50.
Okay.
Dan apa nama tu sebab industri kata macam sangat-sangat tak fair to them lah sebab everything daripada dia tapi idea kita lah, idea kita sebagainya tu. So jadi dia kata boleh ubah tak 80 ke apa ke. So kat situ agak restrict lah kat situ. So jadi minta pandangan kita semua lah. So how tackle with dengan percentage ni. Sebab dia memang nak kasih duit. Cuma dia kata IP tu company dia nak. Yang besar lah. Even nak share pun dia tak kasih lah. So jadi macam last kali kita withdraw lah dengan company tu. So just share of the information lah.
Thank you, Doktor. Yang ni memang akan diterangkan oleh Dr. C. Oleh industri.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Aku Dr. C
a
nak
very
naik,
good morning. Yeah. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, jelas ya. Okay, a very good morning to all. So, Dr. Rahman punya question ni memang common sebab IP biasanya adalah one of the things yang company they are going to focus on. So, actually IP problem can be overcome, but you need to try to negotiate with them. So, if they don't agree with the 50-50 percentage that offered by the company, so normally what you can do is if you would like to go for 70-30 or 80-20 ratios, you need to probably include additional professional charges to them that you are actually selling portion of the IP rights to them as a technology transfer fee. So when you negotiate the agreement with them, you actually can include additional professional charges that pay to yourself into your agreement. If they agree, then you will receive a certain portion of the money from the grant as your personal professional fees. So this is one of the advice that normally I will provide to the PIC that having problems that with the IP. But if they want the 100% ownership, actually our UTM legal will agree as long as you agree. But for your own benefit, I would strongly suggest that you include the selling of the technology licensing fee to them into your agreements as your personal professional charges. I hope I understand. I answered the question in a make sense way.
Yes, makes sense. So keyword is we
Okay.
need to discuss with them the best solution as long as. So sometimes we need them. They do need us sometimes.
Yes, correct.
Okay. We just have the idea how to solve the problem, but all the facility is from them.
Yep.
So we have. I just tell you we have only a brain, for example.
Yes, no problem. Yeah, maybe later I will further discuss on some of the aspects that relevant to this. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Okay.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Okay, in case you have some questions later on, you can always give your questions at the end of Dr. C's session also. So since there's no more question, I'll proceed to the second slot of our sharing session today. So for us, but once again, thank you very much, Dr. Eza. Your talk definitely gave us a lot more ideas on how to go about with MoU, MoA. Okay, so for our second slot, we have Associate Professor Chemist Dr. C. Hong Heng. Okay, once again, allow me to briefly introduce our speaker. So Associate Professor Chemist Dr. C. Hong Heng from the Department of Chemistry is currently the Deputy Director for Center for Sustainable Nanomaterials, Ibn Sina Institute for Scientific and Industrial Research, UTM. He graduated with a bachelor degree from UTM in 2003. He then obtained his master's in analytical chemistry in 2005 and his PhD also in analytical chemistry in 2010, both also from UTM. So we have another very loyal UTM citizen here. Okay, so Dr. C then went on to do his postdoctoral fellowship in University of Basel, Switzerland from 2010 to 2013. Currently, Dr. C is also the managing director and founder of Basbo Analytical PLT, a UTM spin-off contract research organization that provides full support to chemical and pharmaceutical industries. So without further ado, let's welcome Associate Professor Dr. C. Hong Heng. Dr. C, you are muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, great. So now managed to unmute. So thank you, Dr. Sheila, for the very nice introductions. A very good morning to all those present. So first of all, I'd like to thank the organizing committee for inviting me to give a sharing session today. And I also like to thank my colleagues, Dr. Eza, which has presented the very nice and comprehensive introduction on the way that we can conduct the collaboration through the different kinds of MoU, MoA, and also other kinds of agreement. So for these coming sessions, I would like to further explain a little bit about the elements that maybe you could actually pick it up when you are having a collaboration with the industry partners. And I believe that some other elements also possible to be utilized when you are dealing with other institutions or government organizations, and also when you are trying to proceed the agreements arrangement. Okay, so this is the outline for today's talk. So I'm going to begin with some introduction on the recognizing the differences, especially when we are comparing the industry as well as the university. And then I'm going to briefly explain about the university-industry collaboration models, what kinds of models that possible to be utilized when you are dealing with the industry for collaborations, engaging with the industry partners. This one is more or less a sharing session on how you should actually communicate and also relate yourself with the industry partners in order to initiate the collaborations. And then I'm going to focus on the handling of the collaboration with the industry partners. So over here, it's more like you already established the collaboration and you are doing the ongoing project with them. And I would like to give you some maybe brief example on what types of project, which is what we call successful projects. So you might see some elements that why this project is called successful and what are the impact that the project is going to bring it to you. And I also would like to talk about the MoU, MoA flow. So this one has been discussed by Dr. Iza, but I also have some simplified information which might be beneficial to all the colleagues. I would like to summarize the tips working with the industry at the end, and also probably a very important to everyone here, which is the benefit of the engaging with the industry partners as a researcher or lecturers in the university. Okay, without further delay, I'm going into the recognizing differences. So industry and university are very different, distinct organizations. So the first one is the motivation for conducting research or any types of the collaboration relationship is quite different. So our motivation as a researchers in the university are more into the publication base and also to get funding from the industry partners. But in terms of the industry perspective, when they are going to go for the motivation to do a research, is more related to the company productivity, increase the efficiency, and also increase the revenue of the industry. So this is very direct, a very different perspective. Anticipated outcomes are different. So as I mentioned, we are more looking at the publications based of the results, and also we want the agreement to be established as well as the funding received, but the industry want to look at something relevant to their revenue increments in the company. Reward structures are different. So what we get and what we achieve and obtain after the collaboration are quite distinct as well. Funding commitment are made by senior manager. So in the company, when we're talking about fundings, so this is actually normally managed by the senior managers within the company. So this is an issue normally based in the agenda. And then company will think that when we're talking about commitments, then it will be a problem-solving solutions. And also it will enhance the meeting, which is following their work priorities. So normally, when you look at this perspective, it's more like we are following the direction of the industry. So this is normal because they are allocating fundings for the researcher to actually solve their problem. So they do have their priority as well as direction. So I don't see any issues that we are following their direction, since what we achieve later on is the one that we actually wanted, and they are also achieving their goals. All right. Design the research to meet objective. So this is the parts that normally researcher will take leads, that we are going to provide a solution for specific issues, which is solving the problem. The study design is also pretty critical, because how you're going to conduct, you need to make sure that all the resources that you have and also the money that you receive from them is actually enough and sufficient. Be adaptable. So you are going to make sure that whatever you offer is going to be fit into the requirements. Plan for outcome that meet objective. So this one is the one that normally in your research plan, you already knows that what you want to achieve at the end. Recognize extra time and cost involved. So this is more on the costing management, which I will be discussing a little bit in additional later on. Okay, so if we go into the industry collaboration model, this is the 4 major types of the collaboration that probably you can actually aiming for. I believe that Dr. Eza mentioned about more than 4 just now, but for industry, I will probably focus on these 4. All right, so the first one, which is normally on the innovation and R&D. So this one normally involving the new product development and innovation, which you can introduce into the company industry partners. All right, so this is pretty straightforward. Okay, technology transfer is something that we do own some kinds of knowledge and technology, and then this is something lacking in the industry partner side. So what you are going to do is you are going to pick up some technology knowledge, or you source the knowledge from somewhere and you digest it, and then you transfer into the company for example, the technology sourcing, formation of new industry technology-based startup company. This is one of the things that when you are trying to do a technology transfer, actually you have an opportunity to set up a company to form a more solid support to the industry. So this one is a little bit more advanced. And the third one is more simplified, which is you are actually doing a licensing selling to the company by selling the technology that you already achieve and you obtain, and then introduce into the company site. All right. Another one, which is the consultancy. Consultancy is more, in terms of consultancy, is more in general way that you can cover different kinds of topic, different kinds of fields. And this is really, really very wide, but not very specific. So consultancy is very surface. It's like what Dr. Rahman mentioned just now. You are actually more using to your brain to do business here. You don't offer a product, you don't offer anything, but you just offer your knowledge base. Okay, so this one you can do different kinds of collaboration. You can do in a MoA, MoU. I would say that normally industry we go with MoA because you need to have some involving some money transactions. And another way is you do consultancy through the UTSB, a spin-off company of UTM, which is helping you to do all the transaction of the relevant on the money issues. So this one is actually focused on various fields of interest and case-to-case basis. So we will also talk about the consultancy later on. The last one is more on the product commercialization procedure. So you do have a product and you do not want to actually open up your new spin-off company, and you do not want to have a lot of burdens on yourself. Then you normally can go for industry to have a partnership with them in order to commercialize your things. So the product commercialization is one of the things that you can consider as well if you want to go for a real markets launching of your products. Okay, all right, so these are the 4 major models. So if you have any doubts on all these, feel free to drop any questions. Okay, so when we are going to begin with the engaging with the industry partners, so I would like to share a little bit on the some tips that probably you can pick it up, or maybe it's useful to you. All right, so when you're engaging a partner with the industry players, so you need to familiar with the company objective, structures, products, and technical support and issues. Okay, so normally engaging with them, the first time is very surface, that you only talk about introducing each other's, and also maybe you try to understand and engage with the company business culture. You need to understand a little bit more on what that they are doing and how they are actually working on their projects and also the products. And then during the first discussion, the main thing is you need to work out what they want. What are they really aiming for? Understand their problems, issues. Are they actually looking at solving existing problems that need to be solved? Are they they don't have a significant problems, but they are trying to saving more times and money, like maybe improving, lower down the cost of the productions, which is undergoing right now. Or maybe they are looking at, they want to increase the productivity, efficiency, so and also other factors. So we are looking at different kinds of problems here. Okay, so once you understand, identify these, it will help you to actually go into the second phase, whereby you can have a more solid proposal that fit into their purpose. Okay, how can you add values? All right, so this is a very interesting things that I observe. Sometimes company, when they're having a problems, actually their problem is not until like requires scientific novelty. So for me, industry normally problems are more down to earth. It's something very simple, but it doesn't really require very high scientific knowledge. So this is actually good for researchers. Why? Because we know the knowledge from 0 to 100%, but maybe solving this problem only require your knowledge about 50 or 60% level. So for us, it's like something that I already understand. I can actually solve the problem. So what you can offer to them is actually a very fast and cost-saving solution, but the company need to cover all the costs, including my knowledge, which is the professional costing that need to be paid. All right. So you need to identify what are the things that you can offer to them and what is your selling point over here. Presenting a fresh viewpoint, but be realistic about what you can offer. So something that is not present in their company might be the ways that you would like to focus on, but make sure that you are down to earth as well. When we are talking about down to earth is something that when we are speaking, we don't use our language that we use in the publication, but we talk about things that easily understand by the publics. And then something which is make more sense when it's applied into the industry process. All right. Okay, so these are some of the things that you might want to looking at. Okay, when you're already having a collaboration with the industry partners, okay, so now you are moving on into the execution of the industry projects. So industry partner are very relies on the time management. So they always feedback to me that they would like to have updates from the researcher of the university regularly. So this one no need to be like in a meeting form, but you can just send in them an email to update them the progress. And they normally want the researcher to follow on the timing, the time management, as well as the budget that proposed. Make sure that we are actually working within the budgets. Stick to the agreed project plans. So any changes need to be actually informed the industry partner earlier. So communicated problems like with suggested solution, normally you should do it early. We don't wait for until 3 or 6 months then to tell the partners that we're having some equipment breakdown issues and etc. Especially like during the MCO periods, I myself have to normally update to them pretty often that we have some delay since our laboratory are temporarily suspended for a couple of weeks. Reputation for quality outcome is vital. Okay, so this is very important that how you protect your own brandings and reputation when you are dealing with industry. Because if you can do very well and you can actually do everything that fit to their purposes, normally this kind of project are going to be a long term. Means that once this project finished, the next one will coming in. So this will actually become a consistent supply of research funding to your research team if you can form a very long-term relationship to the company. Okay. Remember that the managers see working with academy as beneficial only to the extent that it funds the company towards the goals. So company are, I'm sorry to say, they are very realistic that they are actually only looking at the outcome, whether they are increase the company goals or not. But for me, that's fine because they take out the money, so they need to get something back. So as long as we fit into their purposes, then I don't see any major issue over here. We should be able to adapt into their culture as well. Okay, so I would like to share a little bit some of the project, which is normally we call it successful, so that you have an idea when you are conducting a project as well. Researchers have a very good understanding on the business and project strategy context. So when a researcher going into the industry and working with them, you yourself also pick up a lot of knowledge that this type of industry, what kinds of things that they are actually aiming for and what they really want. So when you do have all these kinds of knowledge gaining during your project's durations, it's very easy for you to offer your service to other similar industry. So it will definitely open up a lot of opportunity later on to other similar industry within Malaysia or in the international regional area. Okay. The second one is to establish a strong communication linkage with the business stakeholder. So normally, the project, we call it successful, is you already not only discussing with certain people in the industry, but you already managed to get in touch with the senior management level people. Those people are the key person that normally holding the funding and financial support. So if you manage to convince yourself and also convince the customer, and get a very good relationship, especially with the business stakeholders, which is the senior management level people, then I would say that you have a lots of great opportunity in the future to get even higher amounts of funding and do something even bigger. All right. Researchers respected the collaboration and were prepared to invest in long-term relationship. This is something that, as I mentioned just now, that researcher also pretty happy with the industry, how they work, and you also enjoy working with them. So this one, you also willing to invest more time and also more knowledge into the long-term relationship. So this is what we call the project, which is very successful. The university team shared a vision on of how the collaboration can help the company and understanding of company practices and technology goals. So this is something very surface that you actually share what your perspective about this industry. So and then the industry start to pick up your perspective. All these perspectives are, I would say that you are no longer solving their problem, but you introducing something bigger pictures to the company. So if you manage to do this kind of introduction into the vision to the company, normally you are talking about million dollars ringgits of the project cost. You are going into the next phase. Researchers deliver in accordance with agreed parameter in the project management plan, milestone reporting, and budget. This is the things that normally industry would like to see, that everything that you presented, you are following all the milestone achieved, you are reporting accordingly, you are working everything within the budget. So this is the one that guarantee you you will have something coming up later on with them. All right. So just want to highlight again about the flow. So the flow has been mentioned by Dr. Iza just now, but I would like to discussing a little bit more details on when you are engaging with the industry, how you are able to be facilitated in terms of the entire process. So when you go into the industry one day or the industry came to UTM, what you can do is you are doing first engagement and discussion with the industry. So this one we go very surface. You are just going into the understanding between each other. You understand the company background and the culture and structures. Okay. You understand the company needs, problem to be solved. Okay. So you don't talk about money here. So believe me, we don't talk about money during the starting of the engaging with the industry. So you just prepare all the relevant informations and you know what they want, and then you get ready yourself for the next meeting. Okay, when you go into the next meeting, normally you are going into the collaboration scope and project. Means that you really need to do a presentation to them to propose a solution, project background to the industry partners. Okay, so when you're doing the project presentation, you want to hear the feedbacks from the industry partners. Okay, what they are happy with, what they are not happy with, so that you identify the problems and you identify their concerns. Okay, and then if possible, you will give an indication, not the details, budgets. You just roughly indicate them. This one more or less will be in the range of maybe 100,000 or maybe 200,000 or maybe 50,000, and then you want to see their response. So you request the industry to comment on the estimated budget. So this one is actually allows you to do a detailed budget later on when you are going to do in the next steps. All right. So because sometimes I see the expression from the industry partners that we offer like 200,000, they are like, it's like way above our budget plan. So, but you let me know how much you are able to afford for this, so that I will see whether I can work it out or not. So this is the ways that normally, industry, they talk about budgeting. So it's good to know what is their limits. All right. And then when you know their limits, you go into the estimation of the budget. So budget is very simple. You yourself and all the people here, we understand about V series here. So you based on the V series, you include all the costs accordingly. And the things that I would like to mention is about the professional fees, because you are doing a contract research to the industry. So you actually eligible to claim some professional fee for yourself. So this amount must be agreeable between the university and the industry player. And normally, I would say that if you're asking me how much, I would say that you should not more than 25% of the total project cost, which means it can be less, but not really more than that. But if your project culture is more to, you no need to buy any resources, it's really use your brain to answer their problems, then you can go more than 25. But anyway, it must be agreed by the industry partners that your funding allocation, 50% is going to pay to my professional fee. If they're okay, then our legal will be fine. It doesn't really have a fixed guideline how much you can claim and how much you can't. All right. And then you need to also include 5% of the project cost as the management fee by the UTM when you are dealing with the double tax deductions agreement. Okay. So once you have the budget, so you're going into the step that you are going to draft the agreements. So you can actually refer to the faculty teams for the assistance on this, whether you should go with the letter of award. Letter of award is something also involving money, but the procedure will be more simplified, or you want to go into the MoA or other formats. Okay, so normally agreement with industry will be LOA or MoA. All right. And then you have the template with you. I will strongly suggest you to send to the industry for comment first. Okay, there are a company that would like to use their agreement template, but for me, I did face the company that want to use their template, but I having a lot of issue with the legal in UTM because company formats and templates are very different compared to UTM templates. So you will need to spend more time to negotiate all these clauses. So if possible, I would like to strongly encourage you to send our industry template from UTM to the industry partner for them to review and for comments. Okay, and then later on you receive their comments, right? You do some changes accordingly, and you send the templates that you make the changes to the UTM legal team for double checking. You highlight some of the things that raised by the partners, industry partners, and then hopefully that the legal are able to agree with that. And for your information, normally legals will not decide without receiving acknowledgement from the project leader. If the project leader promise that I can actually comply with all the requirements, new requirements by the industry partner, normally legal will agree with that as long as you are not putting EOTM at a very high risk. Okay, so because we are talking about MoA, so it's all legal binded. So this one is more stringent compared to MoU and also other kinds of LOC and letter of intent. All right, so when you have all the agreements done, then you just forward the final draft of the agreement to the management endorsement. Then the FS team will be able to further assist you to bring your paperwork into the committee endorsement. So you just get yourself ready to attend the committee meeting. I think the MoU, MoA meeting normally need to be attended by the project leader. So do not worry too much on this. So it will be very straightforward that you just present, you collaborate with which company and then how much money involved. The money is coming into UTM, and then the panel will be happy to listen that the money is coming to UTM and UTM no need to pay anything. Then normally endorsement chances will be very high because we are bringing in some revenue into the university. And then after that, then you're going into the signing agreements. Signing agreement normally can be done by face-to-face or by post. It's not necessary to be by, but depending on the company preference, they want to do some company branding or etc. Then we can coordinate here through the corporate teams. You, as a PIC, you need to take care of the agreement stamping. It's not very difficult. You just need to do the stamping. Payment by industry to RMC. So over here, the RMC will step in because you need to register a contract research grant at RMC. So RMC will assist us to generate an invoice to the company, and company will pay the money accordingly. And then you register the RADIS in the through the RMC, and then the money will be transferred into your contract research grant number once everything is established. Then you can kick off the entire project. All right. I hope everything is clear. So if you have any questions, just drop into the chat box. So I'll try my best to answer it. Okay, summarize the tips. So if you really want to work with industry, I see a lot of advantages. So I will talk about this in the next slide. So when you want to deal with them, work out what they want from you. So this is very important. You have to sell yourself in terms of your knowledge and idea, but not too much. But not too much means that we don't go too fancy, too over the top. As I mentioned, you always keep yourself down to earth about what you are going to offer to them. Be clear about what you want. So you also need to make sure that you state that what you want to achieve from this collaboration. All right. IP issue can be overcome. So this one normally can be discussed. So if you really want my IP, everything, then you need to pay for it. So this is something more like more relevance into the related. But if you own the IPs, for example, like 50-50, right? Okay. You basically won't receive any further money unless in your IP agreements you have some profit sharing clauses later on. So this is another issue that when we are talking about IPs, all right? Build teams. So you need to actually build a strong teams to support them. And then hopefully you can work together with different people that fulfill their requirements. Remain involved, always make yourself involved in the discussion, project ongoing, and also always follow up with them. What are the new problems they're having? Because when you are having a collaboration with them, if they have new problems, the first thing they will think about is you, if you are offering a very nice services to them. Communication and collaboration are critical. So this is really important that you need to communicate with the partners, make sure that everything is under control. They are satisfied with the progress, and you normally need to act quickly. This is the most important element because normally industry want a quick response, quick results, and everything quick. So you as a project leader need to coordinate things a little bit quickly, quicker compared to the normal routines. Okay. All right, so we talk about the benefits right now. So as a researcher, what I can get from the industry partners by engaging with them. All right, so I'm very realistic here. It's about the ERPPT first thing. You can get a contract research grant. You can get an MoU, MoA. You can get a consultancy. You can get a gift. Why you can get a gift is because when you're having a collaboration with them, they might have something, you know, I want to dispose these things and etc. And then so, okay, if you want to dispose first, give it to us because it's still able to be used. So as a gift, then you get a gift credits for the ERPPT. And you might be the first person that able to get a gift. Why? Because you already have a collaboration with them. So they will ask you first. Okay, this is something that really you will experience when you're having a collaboration with them. And also other benefits, all right? Build up a research team with the funding received. This is something really important. If you really want to do research, for example, you have a very high interest to do research. Why? The funding that you receive from the industry, normally, I would say that it will be an additional funding that you can do other research as well. So with the times that there are very limited financial funding, government funding, I would say that the industry partner funding is one of the biggest source right now. So I would say you should actually grab this opportunity to open up some opportunity for yourself. Incentive from the UTM, yes, if you form a collaboration research with the industry partner, RMC will offer you the incentive grants. So you'll be ranging 5,000 to 20,000. So if not mistaken, if you receive 50,000 ringgit and above of the research grant, you will get 20,000 of the incentive grant. So this is the maximum capping, all right? This incentive grant, you have the full right to do anything you want. So this is something really, really good that you can do anything, any topics, any research that you want. And then normally they won't reject, they will give it to you. Matching grant is something when we talk about bigger, that company have some special requirements that we want contribution from UTM as well into the project. Maybe in terms of $1 to $2 to $1, or maybe in the different ratios, then you need to further discuss with the RMC on the matching grant. Okay, we also have the M4Stars fundings available. So this one probably can get further information from Dr. Eza. Enlighten your personal branding. So this is actually very something not really straight away, but you can form more collaboration, and then you can actually form your own branding as a recognized expert by similar industry within Malaysia or regionals. It will take some time for you to build up this, but once you build it up, I can guarantee you have a lot of opportunity. And by that time, you are ready to form your own company because you have a lot of requests from different different industry within Malaysia and regional. So this is the best time that you would like to think about wanted to form a spin-off company under UTM or not. Okay, it will also open up a lot of grant opportunity through collaboration with industry. So you have a lot of grant right now that require you to work with industry. For example, the recently open PPRN, most of them are now require collaboration with the industry, and also the MITI grant. So these are the things that normally can offer you quite a lot of money in terms of a few 100,000 at least. So I would say that this is something that you probably won't see it straight away, but you will experience later on. Establish a very own spin-off company selling technology licensing and providing technical training. So once you have an experience with the industry, you know what they want, and then you can actually redesign your own strategy on whether you should go into the spin-off. You want to sell more licensing into different company. You can provide a technical training because you are now recognized as an expert by the industry partners. All right. Okay, these are the benefits, and I think that's all from me today. So I'd like to say something on the perspective of the industry. So the industry senior management see working with academia as a beneficial only to the extent that it advances the company towards its goal. So this is normally a majority of the senior management from industry we're looking at. So I don't see this as a bad things, but I will say that I need to understand this, and I will play my own strategy and going into the collaboration with them. All right. Thank you very much, and I hope that more or less the information is helpful, and then I'm happy to answer any question from the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. C, for such an insightful talk. So once again, we'll go to the Q&A session. So if you have any question, please feel free to unmute yourself or type your question in the chat box. So any questions from the participants?
Dr. C, Dr. Ganesan here.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Ganesan. Yep.
Okay. Dr. C, thank you for the talk. Sorry, just now I wasn't able to join Dr. Aza's talk because I have class. Dr. C, I just want to ask you about the 5% processing fee just now. You say
5% processing fee. Yes, this one. Okay.
From the total value, something like that, right? Can you just give us some idea on the, some example on the value, like 100,000 project? Actually, 5% is how, like, sometimes they have this net, gross, all this thing, right? So I just hope that I get the correct understanding there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ganesan. So the 5% management fee normally will be charged by UTM when you are forming a contract research with the industry, especially the industry require the double tax deduction. So in terms of the calculation, if you're talking about 100,000, total amounts of 100,000 allocation by the partners to the UTM, so you need to get ready that 5,000 ringgit will be the processing fee, and 95,000 will be the funding that you can allocate into different V series. So 5% is the one that you should not count into the V series arrangement, and then the other, so 5,000 you just put into the 5%, 95 you can arrange in accordingly into the different V series. Yeah. So I hope this is clear to you. So the total money that later RMC is going to issue an invoice to the industry will be 100,000, and then later on the money going into the industry to the RMC Radis, you will see that 95 is going into the different V series, and the 5,000 is going into the processing fee. If not mistaken, is actually located at 52,000. So this 52,000 normally is the money that used for the processing and management fee. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. C. Can I say something like this? It's 5% out of whatever the industry is giving us. Is it like that?
Correct. Yes, correct. That's correct.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. C.
All right.
Any more questions for our speakers?
Hi, Dr. C.
Hi.
It's me, Dr. Nick.
Hi. Hey, Dr. Nick. Hi.
Okay, it's a good presentation and it's very informative. I want to ask you, I want to ask your opinion. If the industry asking so many questions, Okay, before we start this apa nama tu, MoA, MoU, LOA ke, it's asking too many question. It's like macam want to korek the rahsia tu. So what is your opinion on that?
Okay, so as I mentioned, no, thank you very much, Dr. Nick, for raising this issue, because this is one of the things that are very important, that company, as I mentioned, in the engaging in the industry, you don't, during first engagement, you don't talk about too details, what you want to do, what's your project, because normally once the industry probably understand what can be done to solve their problems, first thing they will do is they will do it themselves. If they really can't solve the issue, they get the idea they can't solve the issue, then they'll come back to you. So as a researchers and as a researchers that working with industry partners, the key ideas that solving their problem, you cannot disclose in the very beginning. However, you can actually inform them that in terms of different kinds of agreements, how we can protect their benefits, and then how we actually can offer them to ensure that they achieve the maximum benefit from these kind of collaborations. But I will never share my solution proposal to them unless we're going into the drafting agreement stage. And then the proper solutions should not be disclosed to the company at the very beginning, and it will be disclosed to them when the agreement has been signed. But however, normally what you can do to increase their confidence and to easily close this deal is you already show some plenary things to them that I can really solve your problems, but I won't talk further about how I do it, but I just can do it. So you need to show something that increase their confidence that this thing's going to work. Yeah. And I do understand that companies sometimes will try to dig some secrets about what you can offer to them, but this I would say this is pretty common. But you yourself have to actually be ready not to disclose too much at the very first stage. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Chief.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nick. Okay.
Do we have more questions? We still have quite some time. So if anyone have any question, I'm sure both of our speakers are more than ready to answer everything.
We have a question here in the chat box. What about the MOU with foreign companies here? Okay, from Dr. Nabit. Oh, it's actually a private question to me, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
okay.
okay.
No
No wonder,
problem.
because I cannot read
All
it.
right, no wonder. Okay, so I'm just going to answer it here. MOU with the foreign company, as Dr. Iza mentioned just now, MOU is not legally binded. So what kinds of contents that you would like to include into the foreign company is one of the things that you would like to think about it. Okay, what kinds of contents that involving? If it's involving money, then normally you want to do it in MOU, that is fine. But you need to ensure that they are paying you the money in advance before you kick off the projects, because always remember that the MOU is not legally binded. But if the MOU mentioning that they would like to give some money to UTM, then make sure you receive the money first before you kick off the project. Because if you do the project but the company at the end didn't pay anything to you, then you have a very difficulty to chase the money back, because MOU anyway is not legally binded. So for your information, we won't do stamping on the MOU agreement. We only do stamping on the MoA agreements. All right. Okay, so I hope I answer your question accordingly. All right. Okay. So yeah. But I'm fine. We are fine to collaborate with the foreign company, because some of the company they don't want to be binded, so they say MOU, but we will still give you the money. So I experienced this kind of things before. So our legal can complement, no problem. So don't worry about our legal in UTM. They are happy to actually try to fit into their requirement as well. Okay.
Okay. So
right.
Is there any more questions?
So Dr. Iza, is Dr. Iza around, right?
Yes, she is. Describe the
Yes,
existing
yes.
and yes.
Adakah kamu nak sharing tentang yang feedback daripada yang participant hari itu ataupun tak payah?
Oh, because overall is about they want to understand what is the procedure and how it's benefits.
Okay.
So I think we explained in our slide already.
Okay, good. So we'll skip that then. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So while waiting, probably I just want to let everyone know that if you have any ideas, you have any issues when you are dealing with these different kinds of MoU, MoA, always encourage you to contact the management team, Dr. Eza or myself. We are very happy to assist you to form a collaboration with different kinds of parties. And this is really important when working as a researcher now. As you know, you need to stand out from the rest of the people. So I think forming a MoU, MoA is a good strategy to make sure that you're more diverse in terms of different kinds of teaching, research, and also collaboration with the industry. Right. So I do understand that it will be a bit difficult to kick off, but don't worry. Once you do it once, you will be very happy to do it the next one because it's getting more easy and easy after you try it. Okay.
Okay, I think for now we don't have any more questions, but as Dr. C mentioned, the team in the faculty are more than happy to answer any question or doubts you have. You can contact them anytime. Okay, so once again, thank you very much, Dr. C. Okay, so to show our appreciation to our speakers on behalf of the organizers, I'd like to present the virtual certificates to our two wonderful speakers today. Yes, it's a virtual one. Okay, so hold on, let me just, okay. So first of all, to Dr. Eza Shuhada Sazali. Okay, I have no idea how to present it to you, but so
Thank
this
you.
is the certificate. And last but not least, also to Associate Professor Chemist Dr. C. Hong Heng.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
So, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, so as usual, to commemorate today's event, I would like to request for everyone to switch on their camera so so we can take a few screenshots. So can I please ask everyone to on their video? Since we have quite a few participants, so please hold your smile for some time, because the organizer will have to take quite a few screenshots. Okay, just keep on smiling.
Okay, Dr. Sheila.
Okay, thank you very much. Puan Meet, okay. So very happy to see all the smiling faces. Okay, so with that, we have reached the end of the sharing session, how to calibrate our research effectively through MoU, MoA. I would like to invite all the participants to join another interesting program we have lined up this afternoon, which is a talk on copyright, teaching module as an intellectual asset, which will start at 2 p.m. later on. Once again, thank you everyone for your participation and full commitment to today's talk. We look forward to seeing you in all of the other events throughout Research Week at FS 2021. So thank you all and stay safe.